10th place on the grid, Dahlgren is in the Volvo, and the grid is all but complete. Freddie Bart comes round. I wonder if he'll complete a race distance. 10 laps of Brno ready to go. Freddie Bart will be just about the last car to take up his place on the very back of the grid. Norbert Michaelis. It is blowing a gale here now as the red lights are on, and away they go. Poleman Norbert Michaelis makes a good start. Extra a little slow, and Coronel's going for the lead. Tarquini gets away well, and Menu and Muller starting too. Coronel has the lead from Nukia. Look at Tarquini. Whatever he's in, Tarquini gets away from the line incredibly well. Menu's gone through, Muller goes through as well. Engstler is only interested in the independence battle and gets out of the way as he gets shuffled down to 7th, ahead of Via and Huff. Great start from Javi Villa. Unless that was Banani, it looked like Javi Villa. Coronel has the lead though, but for how long? Because look at this. Inside Tarquini comes Menu, taking no prisoners on the first lap, and Muller went around Tarquini on the outside as well. Javi Villa did make a good start. He got up to 8th place there behind Rob Huff.
There was a bit of a Chevrolet sandwich there, I think, as well.
Muller into 3rd, down the inside of Alamenu, and there is Huff behind Engstler now, behind Christian Poulsen rather, so Engstler shot backwards. Where's he gone? He's last. Engstler shown as last at the first sector, behind Norbert Michaelis even, so right, we've been calling the cars wrong. It was Christian Poulsen's Liquid Moly Engstler BMW, not Franz Engstler himself, who started in 2nd on the grid and appears to be now stone last. That is Christian Poulsen with the Danish flag on the roof, car number 11. So, right, we're going to have to watch that again, because I was obviously looking somewhere else while Engstler got shuffled to last place. Huff down the inside of Poulsen, attacking hard on the opening lap when his new front tyres are at their very best. He's now up to 6th position from 9th on the grid. But Ivan Muller and Alain Menu 3rd and 4th, and chasing Nico Nukia for 2nd position. So Huff needs to get a shake on.
That is definitely Javi Villa as well. It's not Banani, and I don't really know what happened to Engstler there. I saw he had a shocking start. I wonder if that could be part of it.
Sonderegger has spun out on his own, I think. That was turn 8. No, Engstler was already last before then. So Sonderegger was in front of him, and Freddie Bart's in front of him as well. And here is the lead group across the line. Coronel, followed by Nukia Muller, then a gap to Menu, then Tarquini. And Muller wants to win this one, doesn't he? He was not particularly impressed at not winning from pole position in race 1. I think he's out to make amends to that and hopefully keep as many cars between him and Rob Huff, the championship leader, as possible.
Yeah, after that, the first race, he lost that in the first lap, and he's obviously taken advice from that and had a stonking first lap.
Engstler's coming down pit road as you watch Coronel leading from Nukia in the yellow Seat, and right behind with the car number 1 with the French flag on his roof is Ivan Muller. Alain Menu in 4th, Rob Huff in 6th behind Tarquini. And Engstler's got an engine problem somewhere, hasn't he?
Yeah, I wonder if it's blowing the turbo pipe or something off, just the way this house slow came away from the line.
Yeah, that may well be the case. He didn't get away quickly and then somewhere got utterly swamped by everybody. We haven't got time to look back at that, maybe later on if things settle down. At the moment, what about Coronel? 2:17.7, fastest man on the track on the opening lap. And those behind doing 18s, governed by Nukia, who drifts a little wide from the apex. And again, the superb chassis engineering of Chevrolet. Muller got inside him, but what happened to Muller there? Why did he lose so much ground to Menu? Menu's trying to find a way around the outside. Muller's trying to defend. Tarquini's getting in the act. Huff is right there as well. Menu is going to get hung out to dry. Huff's going up the inside. No, he's not. Couldn't quite get the overlap there. Tarquini goes through by Menu after... I'm not sure what happened to Menu there. Ooh, to Muller rather. Menu looks at the inside, but big new curbs on the inside this year on 2 or 3 of the corners. Those orange and white stripe ones, you've got to avoid those.
Yeah, you definitely can't afford to touch that. If you bump into that, it's going to push you so wide that you're going to leave the door wide open and be really late on the throttle.
I tell you what, Tarquini may not have the quickest car out there, but he's got one of the quickest brains, hasn't he? He knows a sniff of half of a fraction of an opportunity when he sees it, and he went straight by Menu like a rat up a drain pipe. Huff now right on Menu's tail. This is a good-looking race so far for Rob Huff. Best of his teammates is in third, and he's in sixth, so he's not hemorrhaging points. Coronel again quickest, 2:12.0 to the 2:12.4 of Nukia, and everybody else behind, as you just saw. Freddie Bart's trying to put a move on Yukinori Taniguchi, as we ride right behind Daryl O'Young with Robert Dahlgren in the Volvo. Coronel is still our race leader. And again, that twisty middle sector is the best for the BMW. That's where the chassis is really working well compared to the front drive cars. And again, Nukia in trouble. Muller was looking inside him there, and he's not got a chance to get alongside. Well, Muller really had a look there at Nukia, just couldn't find the drive he wanted from Tarquini. Menu is coming and Huff is right there. This is Huff's view of the top five. And again, look at Muller, looking left, looking right around the yellow Seat in front of him. He's got grip now from those newer tyres, and he wants to get by and try and get into touch with Tom Coronel.
Yeah, Coronel's doing some good laps up at the front there, and he's obviously trying to build a little gap before. He'll be well aware of the fact that Muller will probably get past Michel at some point, and he'll know that he needs to build as much of a gap for the rest of the race.
Well, despite the fact that that yellow Seat is trying hard to defend against the aggression of Ivan Muller, Coronel is not escaping, and that's a worry for him. And look at this battle. Dahlgren in the blue Volvo 10th, Michaelis 12th in the orange and black car number 5. So he's again come up from 19th place to 12th position in just 2 laps. So that was a great start from him. As we said, in the repair time, just coating the car liberally with anti-slip on the panels so that he can get through. With a bit of butter or Vaseline or whatever. Here comes Huff inside Tarquini. Done deal there. He went straight by. Menu had already got by Gabrielli, who was offline then and a little out of kilter. So Tarquini's gone from 4th to 6th, and that was up the hill.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe, I mean, because the Seat does seem like a quick thing in a straight line. I don't know whether he maybe had a little bit of an issue there. Perhaps he had to defend on the way into the first part. And like we were discussing yesterday, if you go defensive on the first part of some of these corners, it'll really ruin your exit. And to me, that looked something similar could have happened there.
Well, the only other thing is, he was just saying before, wasn't he, that as well as the power steering, there was just a bit of a misfire developing in the engine in race 1. He was hoping that it was all gone. Maybe he's got something right at the top end. Here comes Muller down the inside of Nukia for second. He came out late and deep on the brakes, and Nukia didn't see that coming and had no defence left. He was already fully committed and turning in, and Muller just used the braking and the chassis of his Chevy to dive inside and into second, and that then breaks the seal. And now Tom Coronel knows he's in trouble. 7 to go, 6 after this, and Muller's already up to second, so Coronel knows that he'll be knocking on the back door within a lap or so.
Now, Alain Menu's just put the fastest lap of the racing so far as well, so he'll be pretty quickly up there as well.
Well, leader Coronel did a 2:11.9 last time round. Muller did a 2:11.6, and Menu straight by Tarquini there, and Huff went through as well. So Muller in second, Menu 4th, Huff in 5th. Between the 3 blue Chevys is the yellow Seat of Mikel Nukia, and the race leader, look, Muller has already gone halfway up the gap between Nukia and Coronel in half a dozen corners. And Dahlgren looking at Daryl O'Young. So Daryl, who defended all the way through race 1, 7th place, gets a little tap and a little squirrel going there. That was for 9th position. And Nukia climbing the hill in front of the Chevys. He's got plenty of pick-up off the corner. Look, he keeps the gap and even opens it a little bit off the corners there. But as we get up into the upper rev ranges, looks like Menu's on the inside, and Huff is going to watch which way Nukia goes. He's going to go inside and then won't find a way around the outside. He'll have to cut back to the inside. But again, look how he can.
Yeah, he managed. I think Rob read that really well. He saw it coming and managed to line it up. But look at the speed of the Seat. Yeah. Rob was on power a lot earlier, which is how he managed to get that wheel alongside, and the Seat seems to have outdragged him.
but Huff goes inside, and again it's the chassis of the Chevy that is the defining difference here. As you say, Nokia's engine on song, not much wrong with that in a straight line. It picks up and motors, but the Chevy has got the chassis to get by. Huff is up into fourth, and we are one car away from a 1-2-3 as Muller takes the lead from Coronel.
That was a great pass, pretty much a carbon copy of what he did against Nokia as well, the previous lap.
And again, you can see Muller's car handling more like a rear-wheel drive car than Coronel's. More tail out there on the exit of the corners. And that's Darrell Young. He's off out of 9th place. And drifted out wide. Mikulis went out wide there as well. And it looks like, were they both trying to go by the Volvo? Did Dahlgren falter there for a moment? Now he went behind Mikulis, and Bernani was in there as well. We'll have to pick that up in a moment. Looked like maybe the Volvo faltered, but it was Young who ended up falling out of bed on the outside. Take a look at the start. Man on the front row on the left-hand side does get going, but as we watch the cars, where does Engstler see? Oh, well, he's going slowly there into the first corner. He's dropping back on the left-hand side. Yeah, and that's what happened to Dahlgren's race. He got stuck behind Engstler. I think you may well be right with that turbo pipe suggestion. First couple of corners, Menu tagged Tarquini well out of the way, didn't he here? Gabrielli tried to close the door. There was an overlap. The Menu was inside and stayed inside.
Yeah, he looks like he's taken no prisoners here. He's obviously desperate to get back through there. He's had a bit of a bad round in Hungary after his punt from Coronel, so I think he might be trying to make up for it now. Well,
they had a 1-2-3 in race 1. It's the 100th anniversary of the birth of Louis Chevrolet today, to the day. So if they could somehow engineer a 1-2-3 in race 2 at a BMW circuit, that would really be a great race weekend for them. Muller leads. Coronel is second in the BMW, then Huff, Menu and Huff rather, third and fourth in their Chevys. Mikel Nukia in 5th position, there he is, with Gabriele Tarquini behind him. And you know, if they sort out the installation issues with those cars, they are quick. Now, they may not have the chassis that the Chevy has, but they've got enough to battle it in a straight line. This is a real handling circuit, isn't it? You know, that's why BMW has always gone well here before, because it really rewards a great chassis. And not to say that the Chevys didn't have a good chassis before, but they have got a great chassis on that car now. It really handles. If they were giving away engine power, they'd still be potential race winners from the handling and the braking. Yeah, that Arno Chevrolet Cruze is, it's probably, you definitely have to say it's one of the best handling cars out there, and the engine's great in it as well. But you know, I'm sure that the set will be catching up pretty shortly. They may have just left it as set up as it was with the turbo diesel, so perhaps there's a little bit of work to be done on the fine tuning of the setup on the Seat. But with the misfires that they've had, they were working till 3 this morning, the mechanics, and you know, it's race day, warm-ups at 9, everybody else is in at 7, so the chances are actually that the poor guys from Sunred went back for a shower, a change of overalls, and maybe, I mean, no chance to sleep, maybe just some breakfast, and then came straight back to the track to crack on, because not all the issues were solved. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that they've had, well, maybe not literally an all-nighter, but I don't think they've had a wink of sleep between them. So they're really up against it at the moment. They're also running with non-homologated software in the ECU, which is a legacy of running the turbo diesel at the beginning of the year. They've got to get that sorted before Porto as well for next time, otherwise they are going to be in trouble. But what about Coronel? In trouble in 2nd place in his BMW. We saw Royal Motorsport pit wall looking a little bit worried, because he's got Menu and Huff behind, and still 4 laps to go at the end of this one. He was over a second slower than Ivan Muller on that previous lap, and also than Alain Menu, so maybe that push at the beginning, he's just overcooked his tyres a little bit, and he could be square. He certainly looks like he's struggling now. He's going defensive already. Yes, and he's going to have to defend for the second half of this race against Alain Menu. He's already 3 laps into this defence, and Ivan Muller, he was really fired up at the start of this race, wasn't he? Tore through into the lead. Coronel's now second. Looking back, there's Dahlgren in the blue Volvo ahead of Mehdi Benani, and Norbert Mikulis 11th place for Norby, as he is now officially known. That's what the fans call him, so apparently that's now what we're going to call him. and he's sort of stuck there because Bernani, Dahlgren, Via and Poulsen in front, and Tarquini, they're all quick boys in quick cars, so he's on the back of that train. And it's the front with Coronel that's going to be entertaining. Poulsen here diving to the inside of Tarquini for 6th, and Tarquini taking it back. Oh, and Poulsen's gone off, so he's gone down to 8th. Via's sneaked through into 7th place, and Dahlgren's Volvo is an awful lot closer. He'll have dirt and muck on the tyres, so Christian Poulsen won't be getting the grip for the next few corners that he would expect from those tyres. As we switch back to the 3-car battle for second, and you know, don't you, that the moment Alain Menu gets his nose inside Coronel, that's it. Both Chevys have gone by like a blue train beside you.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what Rob Huff's playing there as well. He's going to sit behind Alain and take the view that he can punch the hole and he'll scoop the meat, so, as it were. And Rob's done this a few times, and it's a great way of doing it if you're in his position.
Yeah, you let your teammate do the hard work and cruise through and take the glory. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, but you never know, because if these two get tangled up a little bit, Rob could end up overtaking them both.
Well, and that is the other thing, you know, for Rob to push now, all he's going to do is succeed in annoying Alain, possibly damaging both their cars and of course their teammates, and then all that happens is he ends up behind Coronel. So yeah, I mean, your teammate's looking aggressive, he's looking sharp, let him get on with it, and in the end, if Menu for some reason starts to lose pace, his tyres are cooked or something, then Rob might have to think about going by him. But actually, to be honest, he's 4th at the moment. The best of his teammates, Muller, is only 1st, so he could afford to give away the points if nothing were to change. It's not desperation. He does not have to get by. And again, you know, that gives you an awful lot of relaxation and comfort zone, if you like.
Yeah, and Alain is in a different situation altogether, where he pretty much has to get by, and he'll be hoping to get by him now maybe, and try and get past, and hopefully from his point of view he'll be trying to keep Coronel behind him and in front of Rob.
Well, the stewards will look at the incident we just saw a lap or two ago between Tarquini and Poulsen. I didn't see anything much to argue with that. I think when Poulsen went off, he went off on his own. We were just looking at the battle from Robert Dahlgren's viewpoint with Christian Poulsen, and again the Dane just staying in front of the Swede. And from Rob Huff's view, looking at Alain Menu, he really is in the easy seat there, Rob Huff, as he can take the ideal line, look after his car as Menu attacks Coronel, and both of them burn their tyres up a little bit more and wear them out. So at the end, Rob Huff should have more to play with if he can use it.
Yeah, he's also lapping the fastest of all of them pretty consistently for the last 2 or 3 laps now as well.
Well, the problem is, of course, he's now right behind them, so that will stop. And out front, Muller doing 2:11s, so he is pulling away comfortably from Coronel. He wants to make sure that if his teammates do get by the Dutchman, that they're not in any position to catch him and steal the win away from him. So Muller leads by 2.8 from Coronel, Menu and Huff in the battle for second. Climbing the hill with Gabriele Tarquini, right behind is Javi Via, as down pit road has come the second of the Bamboo cars, Darilo Young. Yukinori Taniguchi is in 15th place, battling with Alexi Dudicalo, Thiago Monteiro and Pepe Oriola. And here is the battle continuing around Gabriele Tarquini. Darryl out of the gravel traps and out of the race. And Tarquini is in 6th position with Javi Via behind him, the second of these queues of cars, headed by Mikko Nukia in 5th, as we see Coronel, Menu and Huff go out of shot. Then Nukia, Tarquini and Javi Via, and on board with the Spaniard. Yikes! Gabriele,
car control, wasn't it?
Yeah, with a handful of opposite lock there. Didn't really want to turn in very much, did it?
And actually, that could be a bit of an interesting thing, because Javi Via and Gabriele Tarquini had a bit of a coming together last time.
This is for second. Menu goes inside, outside. Coronel knows that that's the long way round and sticks to his line, but now he has to defend down the hill. And look at Huffy. He's on the racing line. He's keeping well clear of that. but he is sizing up where the opportunity will arise to overtake one or both. He goes wide to tight inside Menu. He's not going to stick his nose in that double right-hander. Even in a road car at pedestrian speeds, there's not the room for that, and certainly not in racing speeds. So Coronel survives that, but you see that he is definitely weakening compared to the Chevys at the moment. BMW in second place, coming under increasing attack, and Menu just using the brake there to steer the car a little in the corner as well, as Ivan Muller clears off up the road. He was 3.4 ahead from 2.8 at the last lap. I reckon he's going to be the better part of 5 seconds clear by the end of this one. And have a look from Coronel's view how close Menu comes.
You can see actually on the brakes, Tom Coronel in the last shot looked like he was squirming a little bit on the rear end, so that pretty much tells me the story that he's certainly losing rear grip or being a little bit optimistic on the downshift.
Well, that's all part of the balancing act, isn't it? Trying to get maximum braking without really wrecking the tyres. But of course, also the problem that the BMW has is putting an awful lot more power through the rear end and through those tyres than it has before. And a proud delivery is pretty brutal as well. We talked about it last weekend in Hungary. There's more than a dozen different engine settings and then another dozen different traction settings on the steering wheel. Oh, I tell you what, why didn't you hurry up a bit? Yeah, do you know what? I never thought of that. On the Chevy, you know, they got, you know, umpteen, what are 1111s? I don't know, combinations of traction. There are 3 settings in the BMW, and that tells you where they are in terms of moderating the power delivery and being able to make it more drivable. Well, on the last lap, Muller was 4.5 seconds clear of Coronel, Menu and Huff. Do you know what? Menu's going to have to push really, really hard to get by Tom now. Tom is a really tough guy to pass when he's got his teeth into something. He's like a dog with a bone. He does not want to give it up, and he wants a podium. He really needs a podium for himself and for this team, and this is their first real opportunity this season to take one.
Yeah, he is looking very strong still. Actually, you can see he's struggling. He's having to take a tighter line to get the car around and to keep the Chevrolets from attacking him on the way in. But it looks like he can pretty much rely on getting on the power in a straight line to squirt out of the corner, and it just gives him the edge over the Chevrolet.
The car sits down nicely on its rear wheels, and that helps a little with traction and with power delivery. But nonetheless, the Chevys have been really ready to gobble him up at every opportunity. Again, as he comes off the corner there, just opens up another half a car length or so over Alain Menu. You know, every little bit is just one more breath of clear air between you and the man behind. And you know, Harry, you must have been in this situation. It's so focusing, surely, that you concentrate more than ever on your braking, on your turning, and on your power delivery, just to make sure you don't get gobbled up. Yeah,
you just have to make sure that as long as you can keep them behind you and they don't decide to punt you off, you can get on the power slightly earlier than them. And as long as you're getting on the power in a straight line before they are, you should be okay.
Menu flashing the headlights just to let Tom Coronel know he's there in a vain hope of trying to distract him. Coronel's been around the block too many times for that to make even the slightest difference. Ivan Muller is going to win his second race of the season as he takes victory here for Chevrolet, but it's not a podium clean sweep because Coronel is second, Menu in third, and Rob Huff in fourth. Mikael Nukia, the poleman, takes fifth, and he's the top Yokohama Trophy driver, which is what will really matter to him. He would have loved an overall win, but it's not coming. Roal get a podium. They are happy with that. And Chevrolet get their win. Tom will be absolutely made up with that, not because he's in second place, but because he's in second place under so much pressure from some really good drivers in what is clearly the class of the field in terms of cars. That was a great drive for Tom. He's going to be so thrilled.
Yeah, Tom drove really well there. The last half of that race he was hanging on, and he just managed to drive the perfect line and not really make any mistakes, and he was being attacked the whole time, and there was a couple of little rubs, nothing untoward, and you can see he's obviously pretty happy with his result there.
Absolutely. Well, no, you're absolutely right. Well, one of the things about touring car racing is you often get the cars coming in with different coloured paint and lots of tyre marks on them and so on. And you can do that in touring cars because they're not open wheel single seaters, and that is definitely part of it. The cynical punt nobody likes to see, but a bit of close rubbing and racing is all part of it. And And gradually, as they start to learn this discipline, drivers find what has a marked effect on somebody else and what doesn't. And, you know, what you consider to be clean racing does occasionally just involve a little bit of contact. Well, is Tom in tears? I wouldn't be surprised at all if he is. That is a great result. So congratulations indeed to Tom. I know that Pauline will be jumping up and down on the sofa at home, so hopefully she's enjoyed that as much as he has. And he pulls alongside Ivan Muller to offer his congratulations. So Ivan Muller then is our race winner for the first time in Brno. There has not been a BMW winner. Chevrolet won both races. Rob Huff, the championship leader, winning the first race, and Ivan Muller, who was on pole for race 1 and got jumped by Huffy on the first lap, he wins the second. I imagine that he'll be considerably happier with himself after that than he was after race 1. Well, he said he's got to stop making mistakes. He didn't make a single one in that one, didn't put a foot wrong. And Harry, he was ultra aggressive at the start when he had all the grip in the tyres to capitalise and use the sweet handling of the Chevy, and he really made full use of it, didn't he?
Yeah, he obviously saw what Rob did and thought, you know, I need to get that done myself in this race, so I'm going to try and make amends, and he certainly did that. He was aggressive from the get-go, and it's obviously paid dividends there. He's taken a good win, and by a good margin as well.
Coronel 2, really good start from him, got into the lead by the first corner and managed to hold off Ivan Muller as long as possible for a great second place. And for Alemeniu, it's another third position result. He's on the podium for the second time today. Championship leader Rob Huff off the podium in 4th place, but he has still won half the races this season. So for Ivan Muller, that now moves him on to win number 15. And so they Muller on 15 yet, leave behind Alemeniu on 14 wins, and they now pull level with Augusto Farfus as all joint third winningest drivers in World Touring Cars. Now, if you hadn't seen the preceding